Broadcasting sequence initiated.
On XG, born with action beta testing.
Welcome back, folks, here with another One Piece opening, and something that I really didn't expect to caught me off guard. I know I ordered it, but I didn't really expect it to come this fast. So today I've got OP13, an entire box in Japanese, of course, because it's not out in English. I don't know the release date, to be perfectly honest. You can take a look at the card distribution there. I don't read Japanese so well, but you can probably figure it out based on location, because I always put them in the same order. And this is going to be a nice break from OP12 in English, which I've been opening, and I have some more on the way. Excuse me, man, my throat always decides to act up when I sit down to do a video. But to be perfectly honest, OP12 has not been as exciting as I'd hoped. You know, my preview for these sets is usually Wasi. Wasi plays. He does a really good breakdown, and he was really excited about 12. But to be perfectly honest, the manga is okay. I mean, Jewelry Bonnie is a character I really like her backstory, and it's a funny character. But the mangas, you know, to be honest, they don't really go all out. That's my opinion. They look okay. The artwork's always just okay. They're kind of on the uglier side of the cards, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's kind of a neat concept to put the manga panels in it. But beyond that, they're not that great. And the two big chase cards from OP12, the two Marshall D teaches, the silver and the gold, I mean, I'm not going to say I wouldn't be happy if I pulled one, but honestly, if those were not just based on price, I wouldn't give a crap, honestly. Why they keep shoving Marshall D Teach down our throats, I don't know, because he's far from my favorite villain. I wouldn't probably even put him in the top 7 or so. I don't even know where I'd put him, but what's so good about Marshall D Teach other than he's shaping up to be really powerful? But to be perfectly honest, once he actually does some really good fighting, seems like there's already going to be bigger and badder baddies, like the world government's people, and I think it's called Inu. Yeah, there's already going to be people that are way more powerful. So he's going to end up being like just a blip on the radar, to be perfectly honest. So why they keep putting such valuable cards into Marshall D Teach, I'll never get it. You know, if I got one, I'd sell it in a heartbeat. And that goes for his mangas, his wanted poster, these two new rare cards. So yeah, anyway, bottom line is the chase cards for Legacy of the Master are so-so. And as I showed you in the last video, I think the SPs are the cards that I tend to chase the most, because they're nice, but they're not as hard to get as a manga. You know, sitting there opening box after box thinking you're going to get a manga is kind of silly. I've opened several cases worth of product and gotten one manga. But SPs, it's more reasonable, you know, so it's kind of a nice chase card to have, given that you could actually maybe get one. And this go around, the SPs were promising, but like I said in the last video, well, until I see them in person, I don't know. But I'll tell you, the Yasop that I pulled, and I think I have it sitting here still, wasn't that good looking of a card. See if I can just pop it out real quick. Yeah, so some of the other SPs, and frankly the Lim and the Toshigi are the ones that really stand out. Those two cards really have that neon look to where that red glows. If you can see this card in particular, this SP, you have black and you have red, like one shade of each, and the red is reflective. That's cool, but in the Lim and the Toshigi cards, the colored part fades and intensifies and lightens, so it gives that neon punch, whereas this doesn't have it, and I don't think the Ace has it, and I'm forgetting what the other one was. I don't think the Zoro has it. if you look at just the photographs, it looks like the Lim and the Toshigi are the only ones where they really went to town with that effect. So they kind of dropped the ball. And I don't know if it was something that they came up with after they'd already designed a couple of them or what. But so I'm chasing the Toshigi or the Lim and not some of the more what you would consider traditionally valuable ones. They just don't look as good. And I'm going to sell this. And hopefully I can pull one of those two on the channel and give you a comparison. But that's what I'm seeing in the pictures. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, that's why I fail to get excited about OP13. Don't know what's... I mean, sorry, OP12. And I'm a little more excited for 13, actually. Hopefully in English I can get a hold of a decent amount and whatnot. But I'm giving you a sneak peek here. Giving myself a sneak peek here, too, because I haven't watched many of the videos for it. Now it's... oh my gosh, I was going to... I had ChatGPT translate that, because you all know... when people get a hold of the translations early, they kind of flub them, you know. They go for the absolute literal translation rather than giving it some flair. And I can't give you examples because my memory is not that good. But Legacy of the Master sounds good, but if you saw when the Japanese first came out, they translated literally and saying, oh, it's something like teacher and student, blah blah blah. I mean, but when they do the English title, they always spruce it up, so to speak. And so I'm sure they'll do the same here. In fact, I'll go back to that conversation. It wasn't that long ago, or I can just pull up the image and see what ChatGPT translated this to and give you what I think the title's going to be when it comes out in English. Unless, of course, they've already announced it. But also, if you saw in the thumbnail, you know that I got this little guy right here. And I will be opening that here on the channel today, too. And excited to see this. In fact, I'm going to say... No, we'll save this to the end just because it's going to be more convenient that way. So, I know that was a long lead-in, but let's get to some opening. Same thing goes, 24 packs, just like in English. But the boxes are, again, roughly half the cost of an English box, but that's because there's only 6 cards per pack, and not 12 like in English. The other thing is, too, in English, as we all know, with a box, you have a chance of 2 to 3 hits, 2 or 3 hits. And actually, you know what, since we haven't seen these cards, I'm going to go a little slower. But in the Japanese, you do have a chance at 1 or 2 hits, but I've found that it's heavily weighted to 1 hit. It's not a 50-50 split like you get in English, where in English you have, lately, especially with the last 2 complete sets, 10 and 11, you've had a 50-50 shot at either a 2-hit box or a 3-hit box. Literally 6 of each per case. And so I guess you could say that's an average of 2.5 hits per box, whereas in Japanese, I'd say it's a little more heavily weighted towards 1, but don't quote me on that because I haven't opened enough.
No, they're
Yes and no, that's good and bad. Like I was just saying, I'm not a big Teach fan, but hey, this is, you know, a wanted poster. Can't really argue with that. But I probably will sell it. Yeah, I have no real desire to hang on to Teach cards. One of my least favorite characters, least favorite villains, blah blah blah. Just another punk as far as I'm concerned, trying to game the system, steal devil fruits. And the only epic battle that I can recall is one that you don't get to see. I guess right before Marineford, he was battling Shanks, and Shanks just stepped out and said, I gotta go, later. So we didn't even get to see it. It's kind of like that Kuzan versus Akainu fight, and we hear about it, but don't ever get to see it. That, for some reason, it seems like I've seen that before. But Makino, it's always nice to get those bit characters. Zoro card. Oh, yeah, so anyway, I did some minor research into this set, and it is a Three Brothers theme. Oh, there we go. A green-red Luffy leader. So, they didn't put the brothers on the cover, but it is supposedly a Three Brothers theme. And like I said, I did the translation to the artwork and to the Japanese title, and it had something to do with that too. But like I said, I'll post that. I'll go find it and post it because it sounded like ChatGPT did a good job with the translation and kind of explaining what the sentiment meant. And if you do a better job of translating it to a more fluent English, then it really did sound pretty good. Excuse me, I am going to cut this out, but I'm going to take a quick break and get something to drink.
What am I looking at here?
I don't know, but it doesn't look good.
That looks bad.
Yeah, it's probably bad.
All right, back. Got some water, coughed my head off, and hopefully I've recovered.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy.
Well, that is actually pretty cool. Like I said, Japanese can very, very often be a one-hit box, one hit per box. But I just got two, and really quickly, so we will see what happens. I'm going to cross my fingers for a third hit, but that's never happened to me, so I don't recall if it's ever happened to anyone on YouTube. That's kind of cool. Black red Sabo. I know nothing about that card, but if I played more, I'd probably be interested in trying to build a deck around that. For the dumbest reasons, honestly, because one, I like Sabo, but two, because I like the color combination of black and red. And since I'm used to getting my butt kicked in the game anyway, it wouldn't surprise me if that's a terrible leader, but whatever. Well, I wish I really knew what that said, but I swear to God, every time I sit down to do a video, I start coughing and my nose starts running, and it is just terrible ASMR for you guys. I'm sorry, but it's probably one of the current Murphy's laws that if you sit down to do a YouTube video, your body is just going to revolt for some reason. This is honestly probably my best box of Japanese that I've ever opened. To get a wanted poster and an SEC, you know, obviously we all know SECs tend to not be that rare. They're cool cards, but they load the boxes with SECs, so. Oh! I'm pretty sure that's Inu. I don't think he's come up in the anime yet, but people are talking about him as the big baddie at the end in the manga, so that's kind of a cool leader card. Man, this is actually, for me anyway, if I do get into playing more, which I hope I do, but OP13 might be the set that I build around. I really like those two cards. I think those are stooges from the world government, douchebags from the world government. I'm not sure though, but I think so. Huh. Man, I really wish I wasn't so rusty on my Japanese, because it's only 2 characters. But I don't know what that is or who that is. And, no. I almost tried to pull it out, but nope. I had to learn the entire alphabet, the regular alphabet, not the big kanji. But I've forgotten most of it. Yeah, when I look at something like this, I only see, like, I think that's a KO, that's a ri, that's a, I forget, I don't know. Like I said, it's all blurry for me. Of course, that's Shanks, and that's, the end is TSU, so they must pronounce Shanks as Shanksu. But, whoops, and there we go. It's not a purple sector video until I drop something on the floor or knock something over, or both. Cough, sneeze, whatever. Ah, and there's the dawn. It's kind of a cool dawn. Let's set that up so it can be in the little exit video. Just like, I think in Japanese, just like everything else is halved, you probably only get 1 non per box. So if all goes according to plan, I will edit and drop the video for Legacy of the Master, my second opening, which mirrors my first opening, which means it's a booster box and 1 double pack. I will have already filmed and posted those at this point though, so in the sequence, you should have already seen those if you follow the channel, and then you'll see this one, and then after that, probably back to more Legacy of the Master. So even though I already kind of talked your ears off how it's kind of a humdrum set for me, I do have more to open, and there's more stuff that I'm hoping to get. So that's an interesting looking SR. Hey, what the heck? Why is that slipping my mind? That's the big villain from the Egghead arc, right? That's Ri, and Ni. I don't know. My eyes are bad, so that's probably pretty obvious who that is to you guys, but I can't really see that well. So until I edit the video and get a closer look at it, I don't know who that is. But I think it's the, yeah, I shouldn't say too much because a lot of people haven't seen Egghead. But given the fact that I don't even know who it is, I couldn't have really spoiled much, right? Ace, blue-red Ace. That's kind of cool. Lots of cool leader cards. I mean, I don't know how good or effective they are, but I'm assuming they're... Oh yeah, I think I already went through it. There's a Luffy, a Sabo, an Ace, and Inu. All leader cards in this set, which are all kind of cool. I don't know, low-key, this guy was one of my least favorite characters of all time. All he does is cry and whine, and we spend the entire arc waiting for him to like grow a pair, but whatever. Back to the whole Marshall D. Teach being far from one of my favorite characters and kind of one of my least favorites. I guess the only way he could redeem himself is maybe if he becomes a good guy in some way and does something crucially good to help the Straw Hats. That'd be a nice twist. But he's such a dirtbag, I doubt it'll happen. Last pack, down to the last couple cards. That's a cool card. Wow, that's a lot of stuff crammed in there. Kinnymon, I guess that's Roger. Buggy and Shanks. I'm surprised Rayleigh's not in there. Maybe he is and I just can't see him. But yeah, interesting. That's cool art. Let me punch in on that so you can see it better. Last card. Don't know who that is. Some dude in a top hat, but yeah, I don't know. Again, my Japanese is failing me. I should brush up on that before I do my next opening of Japanese packs, because it wouldn't be too hard for me to remember that alphabet and be able to sound these out again. But all right, let's box these up real quick so I don't make a huge mess and knock that over, and then I will open that special set over there. The only downside of me buying all these Japanese is I'm not going to sell them. That will go in my collection. That one, I would sell it, but Japanese doesn't sell that high. And TCG Player, you have to fudge the listing basically to sell it. So I probably won't do that. Probably just hang on to that, but I'll end up with like 30 of those once the English comes out. But let's get on to this here. Hopefully you can see that. I think it's just barely fitting into frame. But once again, this is the One Piece Card Game Premium Card Collection Best Selection Volume 3. So in a roundabout way, I actually should have had this a long time ago. It's kind of a crazy story, but I ordered this off eBay from a seller in Japan, and it was marked delivered. And I was looking all over. It said it was delivered to my house, I think. And so I was checking everywhere, seeing if it was left in front of the garage or this, that, or the other thing. And I couldn't find it. And then I checked at my office, wasn't there. And looked at the log. And it turned out they had accidentally sent it back to themselves. Literally. So the whole long shipping trip, but they sent it to themselves. And this was like a month-long shipping. And so they gave me a refund, and I immediately just ordered it again. And it is snail mail. I'm not surprised if it comes by boat from this company if you don't pick expedited or something like that. So here we are, literally like 3 months after I initially ordered it, finally getting it and opening it. Let's see, let's give you a good look here. I don't buy these for the value or to save them. I just buy it so I can throw the good cards into my collection. So let's, and hopefully you can see those good enough. And I will not worry about taking them out. But the way they do is pretty nice. They're just tucked in there. But these are glued, so once you tear the cards off to put them in a binder, they're pretty much shot. So let me see. Top we got the Luffy, the Ace, the Sabo, so the three brothers. I don't know who that guy is. I think that's Mona? I don't know, actually. No, I don't know. Don't know who that is. Can't read it again. V is the first character, but that's all I can read right now. Wait, did I center those good? I think so. And here we go. Moria. Gosh, I know that guy's name. I forget though. In the middle, Machina at her bar. That's kind of a cool card. Just sitting there behind her little bar, serving some bread and butter. Nice details there. And the last cards, Ivankov, not Uta, Ulti, and Baby 5. Baby 5 is one of the coolest backstories, one of my favorite backstories. I need to actually go back and rewatch her little part of her arc, but that's a really cool character with a cool backstory. So that is that. Almost every one of those is just going to go straight into my binder, probably with the exception of the couple kooks here that I don't even know who they are. But monsters, that guy, I don't know who that is, but he's listed as monsters. I'm drawing a blank. I have no idea. And it's in English. Most of these are, some of these are actually in Japanese. But then you have the film Neo? I don't know. Anyway, that's that. I'm not going to bother to rip them out of here right now because it just becomes a mess. These are literally just glued down inside here, and you kind of got to be careful when you might bend the card. But anyway, that is that. So in the timeline, the next thing you see me open will probably be some more Legacy of the Master. And maybe if my back feels up to it, maybe I'll do a double box opening. But by the end of one box, sometimes I'm just wiped out. But yeah, I can't think of anything else in particular. Oh, I've been actually, I should have done that today. But I've got some more cards that I got in the mail that I usually throw in here and do a little quick mail opening. But I will save that because I'm going to wrap it up here. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.
There's no place like home. I'm holding it close. I'm taking it with me. It's part of my soul. Just like the memories, yeah. They stay with me, yeah. They never leave, yeah. No. Looking for you everywhere we go. Reaching your hand.